Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Green Pill Secret. I'm your host, Jeffrey, and here we are in mid-January. And as you may remember from other episodes, I've been unemployed since September. I wanted to talk today about unemployment and how this may affect you guys and how I'm dealing with it, because maybe how I deal with it may help you. Some things about unemployment is, first of all, as a friend of mine often says, it's not your fault. I mean, layoffs can be layoffs. And sometimes there are even situations where, as in my case, you're just not appreciated. And as such, you're undervalued and you have to leave. Now, if you have to leave and you have that preparation, and even if you don't, it's always a good idea to have some backup money. Now, I know, oh my God, how would you have backup money? If you're young, no, you don't have backup money. But there are other backup ways. Backup money is just a metaphor. Do you have maybe mom can take you back in? No, I didn't have that option when I was growing up. My mom moved to a different house and there was no going back to a house I never lived in the first place. I just had to move forward. But my situation isn't necessarily yours. And I'm saying that from a romantic point of view, dudes especially, yeah, living at home is not going to be the best way to get dates. But the biggest thing that you need as a dude is to have enough income to have a good time with a woman, which isn't necessarily hundreds of dollars, but is something on the order of maybe just a nice little meal that cost you 20, 30 bucks. Okay. And that could be all you need. And taking the costs of rent out of your budget is a way you can cut costs. So I'm not saying, and certainly parents, I get you. You're my age. I understand. You don't necessarily want to see little Josie or Johnny come home. You don't. And I don't want them to come home either. I don't want you to have to come home, but I want you to survive. And it's a hard economy. If someone with my experience could be struggling, I just imagine how much your experience, that you don't have the type of experience that I have going into the job market, could be suffering. I respect it. I know it. I've mentored it. I want you guys to succeed. And I want to find a way where you can succeed. So if you can't save 6 months, and believe me, I'm in month 4, I'm looking at the barrel of a gun that ends at 6, but I have other monies that I can pull in and make it even last longer if it has to. I may look old, but I'm not ready to retire. The federal government doesn't think I should retire at this age. And I don't think I have enough money to retire. I think most people, even at my age, don't have enough money to retire. And that's a whole other issue, but that's not something we want to talk about. We want to talk about you in your age bracket. And obviously, when you can get a job, keep in mind to save. That 401k is your your best friend, because that money that you put in, that 20 some thousand dollars max that you can throw into that money if you can afford it. Remember, eating and shelter are more important than saving for the future. But if you can save for the future and get your taxes lowered because of it, then do it. And HSAs, do it because it'll lower your taxes. And you'll get that money when you retire. And if you're doing this when you're 25, by the time you're 55, you know, you're going to have tons of money. If you're just doing this consistently, you can have millions. You can literally have millions if you're doing it consistently. And imagine you're facing retirement with millions in your pocket through your various investments. But first, you got to get the job. And that's what this is about. Yeah, it's hard. Do apply. Apply as much as you can. Scrounge, get headhunters if you can. I know at the young age, you're probably not going to be able to, but if you find one and they can work for you, they are just as motivated to get you a job as you are for yourself. On the other hand, going to Indeed.com or various other monster.com to find jobs, going into LinkedIn. LinkedIn often has jobs. Create a LinkedIn profile, do that. Find the jobs, apply, apply, apply. But, and here's where I want you to remember. I, for instance, am still watching my half-hour Doctor Who's. It's my little respite in the crux of the day. Just a half hour. That's all I take for it. And I'm doing that. Maybe sometimes I do allow myself to eat out or see with friends. I was just at Toastmasters yesterday and I was at my EVADC, Electric Vehicle Association, on Wednesday, and I was doing other things on Tuesday uh, with my Tesla friends at a brewery up there in Columbia, Maryland. I'm doing things in the evenings to decompress because it can be frustrating to just push out and push out and push out. And don't let anyone tell you you don't have time to decompress, that your job from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed is to just apply, apply, apply. You do make it a 40-hour job. Don't ignore it. If you put 40 hours a week in there, though, respect. That's what you should be doing. But don't put 80 hours into it because you need time to decompress, to find yourself, and to realize that life isn't hopeless. Because that's the thing. If you're just sitting at home and applying and applying and applying, you're going to be in a situation where you're just feeling lost. And I don't want you to be lost. I want you to find the job and I want you to work hard to find that job. I don't want you to kill yourself finding the job. I just want you to work hard, but to take time, to take breaks, to allow yourself to decompress and to value yourself and to appreciate yourself. Because sure, you're unemployed right now, but you'll be employed someday. And I'll be employed someday again. It's going to happen. Just take a breath, maybe have a candy, whatever it is that gives you a little boost. I mean, you just spent 10 minutes watching this video. I appreciate you for that. If that's how you decompress, more power to you. But I try to keep them 10 minutes because I do want you to get you on your way and into your day. The important thing, though, is that you try hard, but you don't make it all about that because you do need time to decompress. You do need time to enjoy life. And that's what I'm trying to convey is just you're valuable, you're important. I personally value you. I personally think that you deserve the best job you can do. And I want to see you get that job. But I understand that you're going to have to ask and interview and interview. And not every interview is going to go well. I mean, my last interview earlier this week, no. And you just try again. You pick yourself up and you try again. and you try again. Don't let those setbacks knock you down. Keep trying. You got this, my friends. You got this. And I know it's hard. And I know sometimes you're going to have to swallow your pride and say, Mom, maybe even Dad, uh, I can't handle it. The rent is too much. I need to come home. Do it. Make that request. No shame in it. And parents, I'm sorry I'm having to tell your kids this, but believe me, you don't want them to fail. You don't want them to bankrupt. You don't want them to be out in the street. If they can't pay their rent, do what you can, even if you're having them on the couch, because these are setbacks, but they will be overcome. And the problem is that you just need to have faith that you will. And I believe in you. So thank you for watching. And this has been another Green Pill Secret.